Hey guys, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. I want to do my February TBR for you today, and I have a few things happening in February. I have a few buddy reads, and I have one readathon that I am participating in, which I am so super excited about. So I'm going to dive straight into my TBR. Straight away in February, I have a readathon, and it is Polarthon that is hosted by Jade at JD Ray Reads. It's going to be my first year participating. I am very excited about it. It is a week-long readathon where you read polar fantasies, but I've decided to dedicate that week to reading the middle grades that I need to catch up on, because when I did my entire own TBR, I realised most of them are my middle grades. I have way more middle grades to read than YA or adult. I'm going to use this week to plough through some of my owned TBR. Now for Polarthon, there is a map that you have to follow. I will put it over. Which side should I go on? Should I scoot over this side? Yeah, let's scoot over. Put on the map here. You have to start from the bottom. Now we're here. Start from the bottom and you work your way up, and you can only go on a certain path. You can't, just move around the board. You can double up, but I've decided to pick 5 different books for each of the prompts that I'm going to hit on this map. So I'm going to start off at the cold word prompt, and for that I'm going to read The Eye of the North by Sinead O'Hart, and I associate north with cold. I am from the northeast of England, and North Pole is a very cold place, so that's where I'm going with this one, cold word in that. It would be rude for me not to read this book, considering Jade gifted me this book herself for Christmas. So this book is about a girl called Emmeline. Her parents mysteriously disappear, so she flees her home and she goes aboard a ship to France, and she meets something called Thing. Is it a boy, a monster, or something? A story. Befriends a story called Thing, and has to escape the clutches of the villainous Dr. Siegfried Bohr. But Dr. Bohr is travelling far north to unleash a monster from the deep sea, so some of this is set in a frozen land, so I'm looking forward to this one because Jade has hyped it up for me. Then I'm going to Fairy Friend, and for that I'm reading The International Yeti Collective by Paul Mason, illustrated by Katie Riddell. So this is about a girl called Ella, and she goes on a Yeti hunting expedition to the Himalayas with her uncle Jack, and there is also a Yeti there who wants to explore beyond the mountains, but puts the rest of the Yetis in danger. So I assume this Yeti and Ella meet and they must have to help each other, something like that. I'm not too sure, but this promises to have an adventure. It's definitely going to be very polar fantasy-esque, and there's a fairy friend right there. And then I'm going up to a journey, and for that one I'm going to read The Polar Bear Explorers Club by Alex Bell. So excited to read this one. I've been meaning to read this for such a long time. I think I put this on my Believeathon TBR, but didn't get round to it. But this one follows Orphan Stella, who joins the Polar Bear Explorers Club on this expedition, and I don't really know that much beyond that, but this is a trilogy and I have the other books, so I'm dying to read all 3 of them. I think this one embodies the Polarthon spirit perfectly. So finally, I'm going to get a chance to read this one. I cannot skip over this one. This is definitely getting read during Polarthon. I'm in a beautiful cover as well. All 3 of the books have beautiful covers, so yeah, I'm going to finally get my chance to read this one. And then I'm going up to The Snowy Setting, where I will be reading Winter House by Ben Gutterson. This was kind of gifted to me by the amazing Kristen. Thank you so much for sending me this, and I'm so sorry I said your name so wrong in the book haul video. Hopefully I'm making up for it now. But Winter House, this was on my wish list. I saw this one on Lexi's channel, I believe it was. So this one again follows an orphan, and she gets sent off to the Winter House Hotel. There is this kind of mystery with this sinister family here, or something more to do with this Winter House hotel and things that are going on in there, so I'm excited to read another mystery. I've been really digging my mysteries lately. I think I've read 2 or 3 in January now, so that's like becoming like a new trend for me, is reading mysteries, like especially the middle grade ones. So thank you again so much, Kristen, for sending me this. I've been dying to read it, but it seems to be like the perfect setting. Like if you look on the cover there, this looks perfect for the snowy setting prompt. I think it's just going to be so atmospheric being set in this hotel when there's snow outside, and I can't wait. So we get to the final prompt on Polarthon, and that is the Polar Fantasy prompt. And for that I'm reading Never Tell by Catherine Orton. This is also the middle grade monthly pick that me and Jade have chosen for February. So if you'd like to, please do join in. We're going to have a live show at the end of February to talk and celebrate this book. It just looks so perfect. We've been so excited to read it. So this is about Lena, and she escapes a prison camp with her best friend. So they traverse the snowy Russian wilderness and adventures ensue. There's a sorceress, there's shadow wolves. it's gonna be so good. I cannot wait to discuss this in the live show for Never Tell. So yeah, firstly, these are the 5 books that I want to read for Polarthon, and I will be doing a vlog the entire week of Polarthon. I cannot wait, because you know me, I do love me a good vlog. So yeah, I'm excited to get through these 5 books. I'm so excited. So I'm going to try and squeeze this next book in just before Polarthon starts on February 3rd, and that is The Carnivore Carnival by Lemony Snicket, the 9th book in the series of Unfortunate Events books. This is where I'm up to. I took a really big break reading the series of Unfortunate Events book from August to last month, and I finally managed to read The Hostile Hospital in January, so I'm going to read Carnivore Carnival and try and finish the series off ASAP. I've been really enjoying it lately. It's been getting better as the series has gone on, and we've been left in a really cool place at the end of the 8th book, and I'm excited to read this one. I did watch the show, so I do know what's coming up. Yeah, this one's going to be set in a carnival. I love the episodes for this one, but I know the show is a bit different, so I just hope it's good. I hope it's good. You know what this one's about. 3 orphans chased by their villainous Count Olaf to steal their fortune. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, this is one of the only books that I'm reading by myself. I've got quite a few buddy reads to get through. And then I want to read Pages & Co, Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James. This was gifted to me by the amazing Paige, and I am also going to be buddy reading this with Paige. I am so excited. I love buddy reading things with Paige. This will be our 3rd one, I think. Yeah, 3rd or 4th. I really messed up the last buddy read. I was really shit at it. So this one is going to make up for that. Tilly's grandparents own a bookshop. Her mother's disappeared. You know, this disappearing parents trick is, it happens a lot in middle grade fiction, I realise. But one day, Tilly's favourite book characters come into the store, and she realises that she can follow them back into the story. So I love that idea. I always love the idea of going into books and traversing with the characters in their world. I think that just sounds so awesome. So this is the first book in the Pages & Co series. I will be buddy reading this with Paige. Looking forward to it so much. And yeah, like, thank you so much again for sending me this, Paige. Love you so much. I will also be reading The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman, and I am going to be buddy reading this with Victoria. Victoria is incredible. She was my first ever giveaway winner, and as a thank you, she sent me this amazing handmade book bag, which I opened in my Christmas book haul kind of video. And honestly, I use this everywhere. I take this to work to protect my books, and this wasn't on my January TBR. It is Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. I read this in January because it was a surprise to get, but I did take it to work with me, and guess what? It fits in this book bag. I'm going to show you. Like, it completely fits. It fits big ass books in here as well. So I just use it all the time. So yeah, Victoria did make this for me, and I'm so thankful. It's the best thing ever. It put a huge smile on my face, and you will be able to buy Rona in Victoria's Etsy store, which I will link in my description box down below. Do show her some love. Like, this is just the best thing ever. I love it so much. But yeah, it carries some big ass books, and it's protected my books for the past month since I've had it. So yeah. So yeah, we're going to be buddy reading The Subtle Knife together. It is quite a small book. I think it's the smallest in the Dark Materials trilogy, and I did read Northern Lights for the first time last year. I absolutely loved it, but I have heard mixed things from the rest of the series, so I'm so super intrigued to see if I think the same. Yeah, I'm looking forward to picking up the story from where we left off in Northern Lights and seeing where we go, because I'm dying to know what happened after, oh my god, the end of Northern Lights. Like, blew my mind. So yeah, we're going to be buddy reading this together. This is sort of set in a world where people have these demons, which are human souls that are connected to you, and we follow Lyra, and she goes on an adventure. I think that's all I can pretty much say about it. But there is this mysterious dust that the adults are seeking, and Lyra's intrigued, and it's just, it's a whole world of fun until we get to the end of Northern Lights, and then we've realised that it's a bit more serious than we thought. But yeah, this is going to be a buddy read with Victoria. I also want to read Havenfall by Sarah Holland. This one comes out in March, and I got an ARC copy of it. So thank you so much, Bloomsbury, for sending me this. I am super intrigued by this. This came out of nowhere. I had no idea it was coming, but I'm going to have to read the description for you, because trying to summarise it myself, it just doesn't work. So most people think Haven is just an ordinary small town high in the Rocky Mountains. Maddie Morrow knows it differently. Her family is full of secrets. The inn at Havenfall is the biggest secret of all. Deep beneath the beautiful sprawling manor are the doors between the ancient realms, including Burn, Fjordenkill, and Solaria, which I most likely have said all of those names wrong. The door to Solaria, or Solaria, I don't know, was sealed long ago by ancient magic for the protection of the other kingdoms. Once a year, delegates from each realm meet to keep the peace and celebrate the solstice, under the careful watch of the innkeeper, Maddie's uncle. This year is different. The door to Solaria has been opened, and Maddie's safe haven will never be the same again. If anything, we like them kind of realms and that kind of magical aspect of it. So this is YA fantasy. Comes out March 3rd, maybe? I will actually put the release date on the bottom there in case I've got that wrong. But yeah, I'm trying to read as many arcs as I can before they come out, otherwise what was the point in getting them? So this is high up on my list to read. You will have seen this book in my January TBR because I was supposed to be buddy reading this with Ashley and Becca, but alas, we have decided to read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas in February, and we're going to be doing it for Brit's 24-hour readathon, and it's going to be so awesome and so fun because we're going to be reading it together. We're all going to Becca's, and I just don't know what to expect. I read Crescent City by Sarah J Maas, my first ever Sarah J Maas book, and oh, wow, it was a ride. It was a ride. So I've heard so many things about this one, and yeah, I know you guys have been really dying to see what I thought about this one in the comments of my January TBR. I'm so super sorry I'm making you wait a bit longer to see what I thought of this. I may vlog this. I may vlog me reading this because I really enjoyed vlogging reading Crescent City. But we follow Feyre, who is a huntress, and she accidentally kills this creature who turns out to be... doesn't it turn out to be some kind of other creature? And she didn't realise, but she gets imprisoned, and as punishment she lives in this magical kingdom. And it's a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling, which I'm kind of sick to death of, but at the same time, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to read this. I've heard so many things about the second one as well, and about ships and all that jazz, so... oh, I'm dying to read this. February is definitely the month I'm going to read it. Definitely. So I will also be reading Rose Madder by Stephen King, and I will be buddy reading this with Steph from Steph Loves, and Bobby at Bobby Reads Too Much, but Bobby also sent me this, so thank you so much for gifting me this book. I'm so excited because I think this is Bobby's favourite Stephen King book, and she is chunky, but again, I am trying to read a Stephen King book per month, and I read Dolores Claiborne in January. This month it's going to be Rose Madder, and she's like 540 pages long. I think Bobby has great taste in books, so if she loved it, I'm sure I'm going to love it too. But I'm just excited to read it with Steph and Bobby. It's going to be my first buddy read with them. So, yeah, it's going to be good. What's it about? So, after surviving 14 years of hell in a violently abusive marriage, Rosie Daniels finally summons the courage to flee for her life. Good for you. But leaving her husband Norman for a new city and new start is a very daunting prospect. It's hard for Rosie not to keep looking over her shoulder, and with good reason. Norman's a police officer with the instincts of a predator, a force of relentless terror and savagery, a man almost mystic in his monstrosity. He's very good at finding people even if he is losing his mind. Rosie's only hope for salvation may lie in a far more dangerous place where she must become her own myth and the woman she never knew she could be. It just sounds so good, and I hope Stephen King tackles that topic good, because if he does a bad job at it, I might end up hating it, but I hope not. I hope he tackles it really well. But Bobby loved it. I'm sure I'm going to love it. And finally, I am going to be reading Witches of Ash and Ruin by A. Latimer, and I have an e-arc copy of this. It is on my Kindle, so thank you, Erin, for allowing me to have a copy. I am so excited to read it. I may be buddy reading this with Ashley. I don't know if we're definitely buddy reading it together. I know Ashley is super busy. I've been really interested in reading this because it's like modern witchcraft mixed in with Celtic mythology, and that just sounds so interesting. So 17-year-old Dana Walsh is struggling to cope with her somatic OCD, the aftermath of being outed as bisexual in a conservative Irish town, and the return of her long absent mother, who barely seems like a parent. But all that really matters to her is ascending and finally becoming a full witch. Plans that are complicated when another coven, rumoured to have a sordid history with black magic, arrives in town with premonitions of death. Dana immediately finds herself at odds with the bewitchingly frustrating Mina King, the granddaughter of their coven leader. And then a witch turns up murdered at a local sacred site, along with the blood symbol of the Butcher of Manchester, an infamous serial killer whose trail has long gone cold. The killer's motives are enmeshed in a complex web of witches and gods, and Dana and Mina soon find themselves at the centre of it all. If they don't stop the Butcher, one of them will be next. It does sound so good. But Witches of Ash and Ruin does come out in March, and you can pre-order yourself a copy. I will leave links down below. I am so super excited for it. I'm definitely buying myself a final copy because I love the look of it, and I think it's just going to be fantastic. So that was my TBR. So these are the 11 books that I need to read, and then plus Witches of Ash and Ruin by E. Latimer. So that's 12 books I need to read in February, but I need to read 5 of them in 1 week, so that leaves me, what, 7? So I need to read 7 in the other 3 weeks, and I do have a week off in February, so that sounds really doable. If I have time, there are other books that I really want to read as well that I might slide into my my TBR. Like I did with January, I ended up putting in a couple of books that weren't on my official January TBR. I just love seeing the pile of books that I need to read afterwards, because it's just, oh, but this February is going to be a pretty hectic month with the trying to schedule all the buddy reads together. But that's absolutely fine. So that is the end of my TBR video. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave it a like if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a little comment, tell me what you're reading in February, and if any of these books pique your interest, or if I should be excited for any of these in particular. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!